Hello everybody, ztrot here with continued coverage of the Taiko World Cup 2015. This is our second recap going on to the round of 16, and I have a few of the commentators with me and one player just like last week, and I'm going to introduce them now. With us we have Deadbeat, who's just basically my best bud. How you doing, man?
Feeling pretty honored.
All right, and then we've got Tasha, who is not only a commentator for the Taiko World Cup, but also team captain for Canada. How you doing, Tasha?
Not too bad.
All right, and we also have Flanks with us, which is, I might be wrong here, but aren't you the captain of the United States?
We asked for 2 fruitcakes to be moved to captain, since he's been doing all the work, really.
Well, that's cool. I was kind of tired during the United States match, but I was almost positive I saw you up there, so that's why I asked. But how you doing, man?
I've been good.
All right, thanks. Now, we're going to get right into this. We're going to go over what happened all this week during the round of 16, and one of the first things we're going to go through is we're going to actually look at what maps were actually played. So we're not going to go over all of them here, but we're going to go over just the basics here before we get into the actual scores for each match. The most played map here was actually our free mod pick, which was Unhappy Refrain. It looks like that was played a grand total of 7 times throughout the entire round of 16. And our least played maps actually is a 4-way tie or a 3-way tie?
4-way.
No, that's a 4-way. Yeah. And,
4 times.
Yes, and that was China Dress, Punk Anthem Trek, and Thieves Night Trick, and oh wow, these are all ones I could pronounce. Cool. No, wait, no, Zaheen Transformation. Okay, I guess I could do that. And those are the ones that were actually picked. And respectively, those were in Hidden, Double Time, and Hard Rock, and a No-Mod was actually only picked once, which is kind of surprising. Wouldn't you guys agree?
I wouldn't be too. I'm not too surprised, just because China Dress had a lot of 1-6 patterns in it, so it ended up being one of the harder no-mod picks for some of the teams.
Mm-hmm. And something we did before we get into the scores, I want to kind of point out, like you said, it's a harder pick. Something we did kind of see in the round of 16 here was very clear and decisive wins for a lot of the teams.
I was a little upset to see that, actually. I was expecting to see closer games.
We had a lot of close matches in the later, like the last 3 matches that were played on Sunday, but a lot of the matches on Saturday were pretty one-sided, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm. But even though they've been defeated, they're not completely out. But we'll get into that a little bit more because this is double elimination. Well, is it double elimination? Yeah, it's double elimination. There's a loser's bracket. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and let Tasha go over with the official scores for each team here, and then we'll get into the highlights of the matches that were the most exciting, in our opinions.
Alright, so for the first match we had Finland versus Hong Kong. Hong Kong winning that match with 5 points, where Finland took 1. The second match was Ukraine versus Japan, which ended up being a complete shutout, Japan winning 5-0. The third match we had was Taiwan versus Spain with a similar result, Taiwan taking a shutout with 5 points, Spain getting 0. We then had Germany versus Argentina, which Germany took the win with 5 match points against Argentina's 1. And finally, for the last of Saturday's matches, we had France versus Poland, where France ended up taking a complete shutout again and winning 5 points to none. On Sunday, we had Canada versus China, which was a pretty close match. We had 3 wins for Canada versus China's 5, so China ended up winning there. For the next match, we had United States versus Philippines. The United States completely shutting out the Philippines 5-0. And the last match of the week was Indonesia versus South Korea. South Korea winning with 5 points, Indonesia taking 2 wins.
And that is the total for all those scores here. And now we're going to go ahead and get into the bread and butter of this. As we're trying to condense it down a little bit, we do realize the last episode was a little long. But the 2 big matches that I want to talk about, definitely, and I'm sure that everybody else does, is the Canada versus China being one of the main ones here. I actually have that up. I'm looking at all the results here now. Do you mind going into that right now, Tasha, or would you like to speak about the other match? Because I know you and Deadbeat were super excited about that one. Unfortunately, I wasn't there to be there with you, but
I would definitely like to talk about the Indonesia versus South Korea match first because that match was just amazing.
not a problem.
I was
I'll let
actually
you and
yeah.
Deadbeat-
I was actually expecting that to be like a 5-0 win for South Korea. I was on the edge of my seat the entire way through. That was really close.
Just out of curiosity, Flanks, did you end up seeing that match?
No, I missed it completely.
Oh, that's definitely a shame. I would definitely go take a look at the highlights or the past broadcasts on the stream to see some of those matches because it was pretty impressive. What are your thoughts on some of the players that were playing in that match, Flanks?
There was a lot of free mod and no mod picks for that match. There was only one hard rock pick, and the rest were all free mod and no mod. So I guess they might have banned the HD picks, and free mod could have been South Korea's way to go.
I believe that is what ended up happening is that the hidden picks ended up getting banned and they went for a lot of the free mods. So like for example, they went for Unhappy Refrain, that was the most impressive match where they ended up taking the win by exactly 25 points, and me and Deadbeat were getting really hyped up about that when that happened, right? Wouldn't you say, Deadbeat?
Oh, it was anyone's game the entire way through. I can't even count how many times it actually changed which team was actually leading. It was just neck and neck the whole way through, really.
Yeah, we had a lot of really close matches there. That could have been anybody's game. Like, I was honestly surprised at just how close it was. Like, for example, there was a difference of 20,000 points on Plasma Gun, which, again, really impressive just considering how, how difficult some of these maps are, because that was a really hard rock pick.
There's also Hoshi no Zora no Ima, was it?
Yeah, that was another one. It was only like 14,000 point difference.
Yeah, 14,600.
Unhappy Refrain being the one that had everyone going, oh my god, what is going on here? This is so close. Because the score just kept jumping back and forth.
The thing that really surprises me about that is not so much how small the score gap is, but the fact there's also a large score pool. Like each team got about 5.5 million points, which is a huge amount for taiko.
Yeah, it was. Like I said, I didn't have any words for that match. That match was just. All I can really say is if you did not end up seeing that match, go look at the past broadcasts on the Twitch channel. You definitely have to go see that match. So with that, we also had the Canada versus China match, which as the Canadian captain, I will say that Canada put up a pretty good fight considering. We were still missing our third player because they were away on vacation, so I'm quite glad that we ended up doing as well as we did with like one of the players that wasn't as experienced. So for anyone that wasn't too familiar, that match ended up 3-5 with Canada losing to China.
Yeah. If you don't mind, Tasha, I actually have a little bit to talk about on Canada versus China's match because you guys did incredible. And I really appreciated the effort that you guys did. And you definitely tried to keep eye control and high spirits, But one thing I do have to ask is, like, when you look at the match history here, and everybody wanted to know what was kind of going on there. When you guys started Trigger Happy up, was that just... Did his internet just crap out on him, or what happened there? Because he definitely disconnected there, and only you and Fudgy King got the score added towards you. And you guys were doing pretty good on that one.
Yeah, we ended up actually having a disconnect in that match, unfortunately, and because of how the rules are, there is no resetting when the match has started anymore. So there's nothing we can really do about that. We had to basically give them that match. I feel that it could have made a difference. I'm not entirely sure because I didn't see how well iControl was performing on that map.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really hard to say because I know I didn't full combo and I don't think that we would have won accuracy wise. So I don't know if that would have really impacted that match.
Yeah. Okay, and then another thing I have to ask you is, like, going into this, you do see that you guys actually choose quite a bit of different like maps that we didn't actually see too much in the pool. That was something that was actually brought up different. You guys were one of the only teams to actually pick some of these maps, or they wouldn't even been touched for the entire pool.
About that, yeah, I was gonna say the way that we ended up picking our maps was we just practiced a lot of the maps in like a multiplayer lobby over the weekend or over the week, and we just kind of went with the maps that we felt that we could do best on, mostly checking how eye control was doing in the different maps and how wheel cakes was doing in the different match. Fortunately, we didn't see wheel cakes performing during this week because he didn't perform very well on any of the maps, but yeah, we ended up picking the maps that eye control did best on. So, like for example, Le Grand Blue, we ended up picking that because he did fairly well when we were practicing. We ended up picking Punk Anthem track because he performs better with hard rock, he says. We ended up picking a lot of the free mod picks because we felt we could do better on those particular picks.
I see. Well, so you'd say that you basically tailored that around eye control then.
Yeah, I'd say that. Myself and Fudgy King, we're fairly confident that we can do well on pretty much any of the maps that are selected, other than a few of the outliers like Battle of Rose. But yeah, we just wanted to perform as best as we could as a team, so we focused on where we felt that there was the biggest area for improvement, which was around eye control, so we focused our map picks on him.
Yeah, and see what's crazy here is even with eye control having difficulties with the accuracy there during Plasma Gun, it was the fact that he was able to hold that combo just a little bit longer than Shikinyan there. And Shikinyan had the higher accuracy, hands down, but it was because of eye control being able to hold that you guys secured that victory there too.
It also helped that that's a shorter map. Like I'm sure Flanks knows here, that's a very, very short map, and it's also a harder map for Hard Rock because it's got overall difficulty 7 by default, so it ends up being like OD 9.8 after you put Hard Rock on it, so it's significantly harder with Hard Rock compared to Hidden. Not sure if Flanks agrees with me there.
Yeah, it gets really tough to get good accuracy on high OD maps.
And especially with a map that short, like you can't really chance picking Hard Rock, and I believe, I think that Shikinan, I'm not sure, I could be wrong here, I believe that Shikinan ended up doing Hard Rock as well as Eye Control.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, on Plasma Gun, they both went the way of the Hard Rock.
Yeah, so even though Eye Control didn't do very well in accuracy, just on getting that string of misses ended up being able to cause us to win that match.
All right. And remember, guys, that during these recaps and everything, you can check out the Twitch. The VODs are there. And you can also check the wiki. It has all the information as well, such as the match history, the play-by-play results. You can pull it down, pull up everything from how many 100s they got to how many 300s, if they broke, or if they full comboed, their percentage of accuracy. Everything is there for you guys, and it's completely at your disposal. So, Flanks, I do have to ask one thing. You guys destroyed in your match. How awesome did you feel after that?
Felt pretty great, especially since at a point we realized that, well, really going in, the Philippines weren't really looking too confident because after the double time pick, they were all, you know, typing in chat all nervous. Oh god, oh no. And, well, 5-0ing them was pretty good, especially after that victory.
I mean, you gotta think about it. Like, I could totally understand. And, you know, it's almost a shame that there isn't a way. Like, I understand that the players probably need their privacy to some degree, but it's a shame because I hear there are, like, some super crazy antics that usually go on in these lobby rooms when you guys are setting everything up.
Well, I can definitely attest to that. That happened, like, for example, in the Canada versus France in the group stage. We had a lot of lively chatter going on there.
And I think that's something that would be really neat to see. I don't know if it'll ever happen or come to fruition, but being able to see the, like, team chats, like, before they go into it, like, because it's nuts. Like you said, like, you guys can tell if they're freaking out. We can't. You know, we're just sitting there and we're watching them perform, but you know if you're under their skin, or vice versa, if they're under your skin, you know?
We only know this if we get told.
Very true.
As commentators, we're kind of limited on what we are told, unfortunately. I did actually have a question, and you might know the answer to this. The Darade Sandstorm warm-up pick. I am curious, what made Ozzy go out of his way to make a map specific for Taiko World Cup I'm hoping you know the answer to this.
We told them to.
Okay, so the entirety of the team, like Team United States, was just like, Ozzy, go make a map for Dark Sandstorm. We're gonna get the Twitch chat hype.
Well, the week before that, we were gonna play a Darty Sandstorm Nightcore remix, but
Oh, no.
Locktab didn't allow us to. He just
Really?
said, pick an actual map. Yeah. So then we decided that Ozzy, since he's the one that can actually map in our team, he should make a Taiko specific map for Third Sandstorm.
I thought
And
that
he came
was,
through.
I thought that was great, especially like with the background and when we like. I believe that Deadbeat ended up looking at the tags later, and it was like the source was like Twitch chat, of course, or something like that. I don't remember. But
Twitch LMAO.
yeah, Deadbeat would probably still remember that.
Okay, let's have a quick look. Artist, Daru, title, Sandstorm, creator, Ozzy Osrock, source, Twitch, obviously Lamal, tags, memed.
Wow.
Like that map was specifically made for Taiko World Cup, which I thought was really cool.
I've said though, I've been loving a lot of these warm-up picks. They've been just on point.
It was really awesome when Philippines also picked a map that they've made for Taiko World Cup.
Yeah,
We
that
were
was
all
the,
pretty happy about that.
was the dank memes map, I believe it was. I could be wrong.
It was called Senkai in the Darkness, and it was one of their players singing over this opening from an anime.
Oh, was that what it was?
Oh, so kind of like what France did. Oh man. Wait, that was France, right?
Yeah,
That was France. They
It
had
was definitely France.
God
yeah, they
bless
had a
Korea.
community dub over some anime song.
Yeah. But speaking of that, like moving on, we want to kind of get this recap wrapped up for you guys. We do want to explain to you that everybody that lost this stage and got stomped out, they are not going anywhere right away. We still have a whole nother elimination bracket for them to go through, so they can fight back. One team's going to be able to come back and try to take victory from the loser bracket. So they're still going to be here. I do believe that they're actually playing next week, right?
Okay, so yeah, so as
Go ahead.
Zitro kind of said, it's now a double elimination, so there's now the winners bracket and the losers bracket. The losers bracket will be playing on Saturday the 21st, and the winners bracket will be on the following day, Sunday the 22nd. So they've actually split the brackets up over 2 different days.
Yay.
Definitely don't want to miss either of those days though, because even though like some of these teams did get eliminated, a lot of them are still quite strong teams, and they could end up getting a lot farther in the tournament than people might expect.
Oh yeah, like it's not unheard of. The
Also, I feel like... Oh, I'm sorry, Deadbeat.
I was actually gonna say the winner of the Oswald Cup actually came from the losers bracket, so they're not
Yeah,
out
you
yet.
guys were talking about that.
I
So
feel
do we
like,
want to
though-
go into the next set of maps?
Yeah, you could pull that. I just before we get into that, I feel like you brought up the Sandstorm and stuff, and we've seen Sandstorm in Mania World Cup. We've seen it in Taiko World Cup now. We've definitely seen it in OS World Cup. So I do have to say right before we get up this, come on, Catch the Beat, guys, step up your game. I want to see a Sandstorm by Catch the Beat World Cup time.
It's just gotta
And
be
now you
like.
can get
I'm sorry.
go
ahead.
for it. Oh no, it's fine. I was just gonna say, and now you can get on with map pools. I just had to get that out there.
I was just gonna point out that it's gotta be like a map with like the entirety of the map just being a spinner.
Oh, that would be mean.
Isn't there already a map like that?
I'm sure
Yeah,
there
but in
is,
Catch
then
the
you could be
Beat-
like it's like a sandstorm of
Yeah.
bananas.
Just name it Darude Banana Storm.
Oh
Oh,
man,
that
that'd be
sounds
beautiful.
so wrong.
Anyways, so I'm gonna start mentioning some of the maps that are gonna be coming up in the quarterfinals here. For the no mod bracket, we have F.I, map from Lepidon, Valkyrie Dimension, which is made by Mittens. We have Yaku Jinsama no Couple Dance, which I'm not entirely sure who made that one because it's just called Taiko. We have Neo, which is Ono's map. We have Kamui, which I don't know the creator of that one. We have Ernst, which is made by Fion. And for the hidden picks, we have Hades in the Heaven, which is a map by Ono. Ovaldis, which is a map by TK Salt. Nihilism, which is a map by Kagami. And for the Hard Rock picks, we have Chaos Japan, which is a map by Farce. We have Togenkyo Alien, which is a map that I do not know who created. We have Aono Senritsu, which is a map from Coot 8123. And for Double Time, we have Privilege. I don't know the creator of that one. And we have Rondo Alla Turca, which is a map from Lepidon. We have Emuko Kyonkyun, which is a map from KS. For free mod, we have Libra Me, a map from WMF Chris. This is one that I cannot pronounce because it's in German, I believe, but it's Jagon Deg. I don't know, I'm trying my best, which is a map from Rock. And then we have Kodoko Egoism, which is a map from 714. And then for our tiebreaker, we have Nevermind, which is a map from Enwolf. Definitely some hard maps in there.
Yeah, definitely some hard maps. And unfortunately, I know nothing about Taiko, but when I see Lepidon's name and I see Ani next to it, I go, no.
Leppy's maps are...
Yeah, go ahead.
Nowadays.
Go
Nowadays,
ahead.
I don't think they're as hard.
Yep, just make me feel a little bit smaller.
I'm sorry, ztrot. Anyway, I wanted to get Flank's opinion on some of these maps, because I've been talking a lot and I want to hear more from him.
Oh yes, most definitely.
A lot of the no-mod maps are really streamy. FI, Couple Dance, New.
Yeah,
The Hard Rock,
especially.
yeah, the Hard Rock picks are also really hard with Togenkyo Alien being OD 9.8, which makes it really tough to get good accuracy.
Well, now
The
that
double
I know
time,
that.
the double time maps got a step up definitely from the last bracket. Being Leppy's map is pretty streamy. Privilege is a little more fast, and the tiebreaker, it's a really long map with really hard patterns and kind of random streams.
I
So
still
you
haven't
definitely-
fun with it.
Oh, okay. Well, that's about what I was about to ask. I was about to say. So have either of you full comboed that?
I don't want to try and full combo that.
I can
So would
fully
you say-
understand that.
So would you guys say that's going to be a map you're going to try to avoid? Is the tiebreaker something everybody's going to try to avoid this round? Well,
I wouldn't
obviously.
say that we're going to try to avoid it. It's more that I feel like a lot of teams are going to be afraid of seeing this map just because it's so long, and a lot of people are pretty inconsistent with it.
I see. Well, another thing I wanted to point out before we wrap this up is, as you were naming off the map pool and the lists in there, and you kind of pointed out that some of them don't have names for them, that kind of makes me a little bit sad there, because like it feels like they should get, you know, just as much credit for the people that created it, but that was a time way back, and that's a tangent for another day. Regardless, you guys will be able to catch these matches starting. Let's see if they actually have the times up. Do they have the times up already?
Yes, they do have the times up. They are actually listed in the
Alrighty.
map schedule.
Okay, and so the first map schedule here for what's going to go on here is going to be Finland versus Ukraine, and that's going to be Saturday, March 21st at 10 a.m. UTC. Philippines versus Poland will follow shortly 2 hours after at 12 p.m. UTC. Spain versus Argentina will take another, it seems like another 2-hour gap at 1400 UTC. And then Indonesia versus Canada will be at 1600 UTC. So it looks like they're going to be having 2-hour intervals in between these. And it seems like on Sunday, the 22nd, that will continue as well, with Hong Kong versus Japan at 10, South Korea versus China at 12, Taiwan versus Germany at 1400, and United States versus France at 1600. And that will wrap up this recap of the Taiko World Cup round of 16. Thank you guys so much for coming out. And remember, rhythm is only a click away, and we'll see you real soon.
Hope to see you guys at the quarterfinals.